you would expect from Walmart, this level of packaging. I think this to me feels like what I would expect would come from like DHgate or Temu or something. Is it a fake? Is it not? Why would Walmart, in my mind, dice with potentially getting sued by Hermès for launching a short-run series of bags that some of us would call fake?
Hermès been caught selling Birkin bags to Walmart, but low-key, they just slapped a fake label on cheap bags. Jane Birkin's daughter even sued. This drama's shaking the whole luxury game. People feeling betrayed, and trust is straight gone. What's really good with fashion now? You ever walk into Walmart and just stop dead in your tracks? That's exactly what happened when people started spotting Hermès Birkins. Yep, those super exclusive, crazy expensive bags, just chilling on shelves right next to everyday backpacks and school supplies. Now, a Birkin isn't just any purse. It's the ultimate flex, handmade by expert artisans, costing tens of thousands, sometimes even more. It's a symbol of power, status, and style that only the elite get to rock. So when these Birkins showed up in Walmart, it blew people's minds. How could the holy grail of luxury bags end up where bargain hunters roam? People started asking, are these knockoffs, seconds, or was this some wild leak from Hermès itself? The whole idea of luxury depends on exclusivity. You can't just mass produce it and throw it on discount shelves. But here we are, witnessing that line get blurred. Suddenly, something meant to be rare and precious was as accessible as a pack of gum. This shook up the entire concept of what luxury means in the 21st century. It wasn't just about a bag anymore. It was about how these brands protect their image and what happens when that image cracks under pressure. The internet went wild, sparking debates on forums, TikTok, and Instagram. Was Hermès losing control? Was Walmart the new hotspot for high fashion? It made everyone wonder if the rules of luxury were changing, or if something shady was going on behind the scenes. But this wasn't just a random scandal. It cut deeper because of one name, Charlotte Gainsbourg. She's the daughter of Jane Birkin, the legendary actress and singer whose style inspired the creation of the Birkin bag decades ago. Jane's name is literally stamped into fashion history because of that bag. So, for Charlotte, seeing these iconic bags treated like everyday Walmart merch was a personal punch. It wasn't just about money or business. It was about legacy. Charlotte made it clear she wasn't going to sit back and watch her mother's artistic heritage get cheapened. She stepped up publicly, pushing for legal action and speaking out about how these seconds being sold like clearance items was disrespectful. It threw the whole story into a new light. Suddenly, the scandal wasn't just a fashion industry mess, it was a battle over family honor and preserving a cultural icon. This kind of fight makes you realize how much luxury is tied to personal stories and tradition, not just price tags. Charlotte's stance sent a message that heritage matters, even in a world obsessed with fast trends and profits. Her involvement made people question, what's the real cost of chasing bigger sales? And how much are luxury brands willing to sacrifice to keep their empires standing? This struggle between honoring craftsmanship and chasing quick cash is one of the oldest dramas in fashion, but it never gets old because it hits so close to home. Charlotte's voice brought heart to the controversy and reminded everyone that luxury isn't just business, it's history, art, and family wrapped into one. Now here's where it gets wild. Rumors about Hermès's seconds started flying everywhere. These are bags that didn't pass the brand's famously strict quality control. Maybe a stitch was crooked or a hardware piece wasn't perfect. Usually these seconds are supposed to be destroyed or locked away forever, hidden from public view. But people suspected some of these imperfect Birkins escaped Hermès's tight grip and ended up in the wild, some even on Walmart shelves. Imagine that, bags that should have been destroyed, ending up as bargain finds. For Hermès, a brand that's built its name on absolute perfection, this was a huge blow. If seconds start leaking out, it shatters the whole idea that you're buying something flawless and exclusive. Collectors freaked out. Suddenly questions flooded in. How many seconds are out there? Can we trust the authenticity of Birkins anymore? The internet became a giant detective agency, with fans scrutinizing every detail of every bag, hunting for clues and exposing inconsistencies. It felt like a luxury brand's secret world was being ripped open, revealing a mess behind the perfect image. This scandal laid bare the fragile balance between brand image and the reality of production. It forced everyone to rethink what luxury really means, when even top-tier brands might be quietly selling their rejects. And for the people who dreamed of owning a perfect Birkin, the shockwaves were real. Was their prized bag really as rare and flawless as they thought? The truth started coming out in bits and pieces, and it wasn't pretty. But here's the tricky part. These seconds weren't always easy to spot. To most shoppers, the differences were nearly invisible. Maybe a stitch was slightly off, or a button sat just a millimeter too low. For Hermès' obsessed inspectors, that's unacceptable, but for the average buyer, it looks flawless. That means people walking into Walmart or buying from unknown sellers could have snagged what they thought was a genuine, perfect Birkin, only to find out later they got a second. Meanwhile, Hermès' reputation is taking a hit. Whispers started that Walmart might have been unknowingly caught up in a supply chain mess, receiving these seconds through vendors with loose controls. It's like a secret pipeline where imperfect Birkins quietly moved from the ateliers in France to discount shelves in America. Social media detectives went into overdrive, zooming on bags, comparing serial numbers, and piecing together the scandal like an episode of a crime thriller. It exposed the hidden side of luxury manufacturing. Not all glitters is gold, and behind those shiny logos, there's a complicated, sometimes messy reality. The scandal wasn't just a brand problem, it was a symptom of a bigger issue with how luxury brands handle quality control and supply chains in a world obsessed with quantity and profit. For fans of fashion and drama alike, this story was a game changer. Charlotte Gainsbourg's reaction wasn't just about protecting her family's name, it became a battle cry for the whole luxury world. The Birkin bag isn't just a purse, it's a symbol of artistry, craftsmanship, and femininity. For Charlotte, seeing those bags tossed on discount shelves felt like witnessing a legacy get torn apart. Her public fight pushed Hermès and the entire industry to rethink what it means to honor tradition. Hermès has built its empire on exclusivity and perfection, but this scandal exposed how fragile those foundations are when the bottom line comes first. The tension between preserving artistry and chasing sales is an old story, but Charlotte's stand made it personal, raw, and urgent. She demanded respect for the past in a future where luxury is often diluted for the sake of mass appeal. Her voice became a reminder that behind every luxury label is a story worth protecting, and as brands race to keep up with fast-changing markets, the question remains, will they keep chasing dollars or honor the legacies that made them great? Charlotte's stance puts a human face on that struggle, making the luxury scandal about more than money. It's about soul, identity, and respect.
About luxury bags carefully handcrafted in China. Turns out your quote-unquote made in Italy luxury handbag might have more ties to Chinese factories than to Tuscany.
Let's talk about the big secret everyone wants to know but few admit: how luxury goods really get made. The idea that every bag or dress is handcrafted by a master artisan in a fancy Paris atelier? That's part truth, part fantasy. What's not fantasy? The pressure on factories, often far from the glamorous cities, where workers push through insane hours just to keep up with demand. These places sometimes operate in the shadows, far from the public eye. Brands don't want you to think about those long shifts or tough conditions. When stories leak about the real factory life, it rattles the luxury image hard. Brands respond with slick statements about ethical sourcing or commitment to workers, but the fine print usually leaves out the grit. It's a dance between wanting to be transparent and wanting to protect a brand's mystique. Sustainability plays into this too. Consumers want eco-friendly luxury, but the truth is, it's complicated. Using recycled leather or eco-fabrics might sound great, but it can be expensive and slow down production. Some brands throw out big promises about going green, but are still figuring out how to make it work at scale without losing the luxe feel. That's where skepticism kicks in. Is it real change, or just a way to keep the press happy? On top of that, supply chains stretch across continents, making it tricky to fully track everything. One weak link could ruin the whole operation. When news pops about factories cutting corners or workers dealing with unfair treatment, it's a red flag for buyers. And since social media makes leaks easy, brands gotta be on their toes, or the next scandal could blow up overnight. So, this tension between secretive supply chains and consumer demand for honesty is one of the biggest shakes the luxury world faces right now. It's a behind-the-scenes battle that most people don't see but feel the effects of every time they shop or scroll online. Now, flip the script and look at what happens after those luxury pieces leave the store. The resale market has exploded, turning old bags and clothes into gold mines. Some of these secondhand items sell for more than their original price, especially if they're rare or come with a story. It's like a secret club where owning a vintage Birkin or a limited edition Dior dress means more than just having style. It means having street cred and insider knowledge. But with all that cash flying around, fake goods flood the market too. Counterfeiters have gotten slicker, making it harder to spot the real from the fake. That's where authentication becomes everything. Buyers want to be sure their investment is legit. Brands have noticed and started their own programs to verify goods on resale platforms. But that also means luxury is less about exclusivity and more about circulation. It changes the game. Resale culture blurs the lines between old and new, fresh and worn, making luxury goods feel both timeless and trendy. And for many, buying secondhand is a statement. It's sustainable, smart, and savvy. But the dark side is the hustle of scammers and shady sellers who use fake paperwork or doctored photos to trick buyers. When those stories come out, it shakes trust in the whole resale world. The brands are stuck trying to protect their image while riding the wave of this booming market. Watching how resale evolves is like watching a new economy grow. It's unpredictable, exciting, and full of surprises. The resale market isn't just a side hustle anymore, it's rewriting what luxury means in the 21st century. Social media changed the whole luxury fashion game, turning consumers from quiet buyers into loud voices with real power. A single influencer's post can send a bag or sneaker from may to must-have in hours. But this power is a double-edged sword. Brands love the exposure but hate losing control. When something flops or offends, backlash hits fast and fierce. People call out tone-deaf ads, shady practices, or careless comments in real time, forcing brands to react quickly. This instant feedback loop makes launches high-stakes affairs. You can't just drop a product and hope for the best anymore. Brands track hashtags, comments, and stories obsessively to catch early signs of trouble. Sometimes they pull campaigns mid-run, other times they try to spin the narrative with apologies or explanations. But audiences are savvy. They see through half-hearted moves. This shift means brands have to be smarter, more authentic, and faster on their feet. It's a wild ride, where every tweet or TikTok could make or break a collection. And this drama doesn't just affect marketing, it influences design, pricing, and collaborations. Brands chase viral trends, but also fear the pitfalls of going too far or missing the mark. This constant tension between control and chaos makes the social media era one of the most unpredictable chapters in luxury's story. Inside the luxury world, the power struggles run deep. Designers, CEOs, and creative directors all have stakes, and their clashes can shake a brand to its core. When a top designer bounces or gets pushed out, it's more than just a personnel change. It's a shift in style, direction, and fan loyalty. Fans watch every move, dissect every collection, and debate if the brand's soul survived the switch. These shakeups come with drama, rumors about clashes, creative differences, or behind-the-scenes tensions. Sometimes the press leaks stories of late-night arguments or secret meetings. When a new leader steps in, they either bring fresh life or face backlash for messing with a beloved legacy. It's a delicate balance between innovation and tradition. Stock prices can swing wildly on these announcements, showing just how much investors and fans care. But some brands thrive on the chaos, using shakeups as a way to reinvent themselves and capture new audiences. Others stumble, losing relevance or confusing their base. The stakes are sky high, and every decision ripples far beyond the studio. Watching these power plays unfold is like tuning into a real-life soap opera where creativity meets business in the most intense ways. Underneath the glitz and glam, mental health in the luxury fashion world often stays hidden. The pressure to be perfect, whether you're a model, designer, or exec, can be overwhelming. Long hours, constant scrutiny, and the non-stop demand for success weigh heavy. Some insiders quietly share stories of folks who struggled with the weight of this life, battling stress, anxiety, or worse. But the industry's glossy exterior keeps these stories in the shadows. When tragedy hits, the silence is loud. Brands are starting to open up more, acknowledging that mental health matters, but real change moves slow. It's a tough balance between pushing for excellence and caring for people. The rise of social media only adds to the pressure, making the spotlight brighter and the expectations higher. The fashion world is learning that true luxury isn't just about the product. It's about valuing the people behind it. This growing awareness adds a deeper human layer to an industry that's often seen as all flash and no heart. It's a reminder that behind every runway and design, there's someone fighting battles we don't always see, and that's the real story worth telling.